Okay, here we go. We're doing it. So this is the very first like Patreon vlog that I've ever done, and I don't really know what I'm going to be talking about, but I want to like give you guys some updates on stuff. That's like the point of this weekly Patreon vlog. And main point is this is the very first one. I wasn't even planning on recording this week, but I had some free time tonight. It's Sunday night, January 20th, and not 2019, in case I need to know what year it is in the future. It was literally my first ever Patreon vlog, so thank you guys very much for watching, and thanks for being a patron. The only way that you should be able to watch this is if you're a patron. If you're not a patron, get out of here. Thank you guys very much. So yeah, I'm not going to do any editing on this. It's going to be just like literally live one take. Hopefully I don't mess anything up. And yeah, you'll probably hear or see the puppies walking around in the background. I'll probably eventually get rid of this. We've got like a layout, you know, it's kind of like my Twitch layout. I think I may get rid of this for the Patreon vlogs, and maybe just like go with something more simple, because we don't need all this other stuff on the screen, but we'll do that for future. Right now, the important thing that I want to do is building the habits for this new stuff. I have a lot of really big ideas about what I want to do with all this cool Patreon stuff, and for 2019. But the most important thing, I think, when you really get down to it, is building the new habits. And I think that's true for any big changes that you want to do in life, or any problems that you want to take care of that are ongoing situations. So for example, for me, it's like, I was talking about this with a friend recently. For me, it's like the building up the habit of saying no. And when I'm playing too much of a video game, like building up the habit of turning off the game and saying, no, I don't need to play anymore. Versus like, I'm often caught up in the endorphins of a win, or the lack of endorphins of a loss, and you get stuck in that cycle. I'm sure a lot of you guys know about that stuff. So anyways, the important thing is building up the habit of doing things. So I pressed record and we're going on this vlog, and hopefully it will be a weekly thing where I just sit down and talk with you guys a little bit. I'm gonna try and keep it relatively short, because I could probably go on for like way too long talking about things, ideas, hopes, plans, future things. But try and keep it concise. So Patreon, I'm really excited about Patreon. I'm really excited to be able to create new types of content, and I guess what I really need to focus on is I'm really excited to be working on music and feeling like I'm always motivated, but I always let other priorities get in front of it. So motivated with a priority with music. I pretty much always, almost every single day, I have a song idea going through my head, and sometimes I'll jot it down or record it or whatever, but I almost never really sit down and write and record, or go back and rewrite. And something that I've kind of realized recently is that, like, this is in general, like anything that you create, any kind of art, any kind of ideas, whether business ideas, any kind of like thing that is created, for every 1 hour that goes into creating it, you need an additional 3 hours to rewrite, to edit, to go back and improve. So it's like 25%. I mean, maybe that's even too high. It's like 25, but for me, it's like 25% generating content, and like 75% rewriting stuff. So that is 75% right now is missing from like a lot of my music stuff. So I need to do more of that, and I'm excited to do it too. So 2019, what is 2019 going to be? As of right now, my hopes and ideas and dreams about 2019 is that a lot of music. I guess I'm kind of worried about it. I need to build up those habits. I think I'm worried about it because I don't have those habits yet of working on music. The rewrite stuff is in my head now, and I'm just like thinking constantly about quotes that people have talked about how you write and you write and you write and you write, no matter what it is, or art in general, like how you go back, and I should come up with a more general term than write. But anyways, I'm distracted. What's new with that? Even when I don't have an audience to talk to, I am getting off track and distracted. So, the updates and stuffs. Get down. So let's talk about Twitch first, because that's a habit that's ongoing. I'm in the Twitch Sings beta, so we're going to be doing music on there. I have a bunch of ideas on my phone that I'm going to do a stream about at some point, and I'll try and give you guys a heads up about when that stream happens, since I assume you guys are interested in the music stuff, because that's why you're part of the Patreon. So I'll try and give you guys a couple days of heads up of when the stream is going to be, and then I'll try and upload it unlisted to YouTube, which is like how this vlog is going to be available for you guys. I guess I'm just worried about my ideas being taken. I guess I'm not worried about it on a stream, but I guess it's certainly possible. You know, I'm just worried about people taking my ideas, but I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe that, whatever. Protective, cautiously protective. But anyways, I have a bunch of ideas on my phone. I've been recording ideas on my phone for years, 4, 5, 6 years, all in the Voice Memos app. I have stuff dating to at least 2014. It's probably even before that as well. And someday on stream, I'd like to go through. One of my mantras for this year is to do the work on stream. Simply because to open up and share that process with you guys. It's not necessarily the most entertaining thing, but it's you got to balance entertaining with authentic. Because sometimes what's really entertaining is not necessarily authentic, and what's authentic is not necessarily entertaining. But kind of coming out with a balance, you know, you got to make those, like someone was talking about this on for YouTube videos, which I'll be getting back into this year, after basically taking a hiatus last year, year or two. With YouTube videos, like you can make those viral videos, but you won't necessarily develop an authentic relationship with your audience, you know. And you can have an authentic relationship with your audience, but you might not get much exposure from like virality and stuff. So it's like kind of coming up with a balance that works for you every once in a while, coming up with that, I forget who was talking about this, but coming up with that slow pitch. I think it was Hank Green or John Green. I think John's taking a break from Twitter right now, so it must have been Hank. Anyways, you don't always have to have like the most entertaining and like most visual, like creative and amazing video ever all the time. Sometimes it's really good to have a slow pitch instead of a fastball. Also, you don't burn yourself out that way. I think that was the main point of his Twitter post about it. What was the point of this? So in terms of streaming and whatnot, I really just want to share more about that process of writing music, of recording music, doing the work on stream. We can still have like wild lit streams, but I really want to do some more authentic, chill music working streams. So anyways, the point of this is to say that I'd love to go through the notes, and I don't even think it would go, I think it would be one stream, it might be multiple streams, it would be a long stream. Because what I want to do is like go through and write them down and you know, like catalog them. And then once they're cataloged, start working on the ones that I think have the most potential, you know? Because I think that'll be a really good way for me to start. It's hard to have inspiration on demand. So what you really got to do is when you have that inspiration, whether you're like, a lot of people have great ideas or inspiration when they're driving, in the shower, falling asleep. For me, it's the falling asleep one the most. Is you capture that moment, you capture that lightning in the bottle when it's there. and then you tuck it away and you save it for when you can really focus on it again. So when I'm falling asleep and I have a melody coming through my head, I just, activate the voice memos app on my phone and like sleepily or groggily or whatever, hum it or whatever into my phone. And then I'll come back to it in the next morning and flesh it out a little bit. So whatever it is that you do, maybe your own ideas or whatever, instead of relying on being creative in the moment, you need to capture it when it occurs, and then flesh it out when you're in like work mode. And that's really good. Another friend of mine, I was hanging out with him on Friday. He made some really good points about like your brain, and his theory, his philosophy, his perspective on it was like your brain is more active, is generating like is subconsciously generating ideas when it's in danger. So that was his explanation for like, that's why people have really good ideas when they're driving, because your brain is like firing on all cylinders because there's so many things that you have to do while you're driving. Keeping a whole like visual awareness, mechanical awareness with your feet and your hands, and a mental awareness about like where you're going, keeping track of the different drivers and lights and pedestrians and whatever else. So your brain is already firing on all cylinders, including the parts that might have ideas and whatnot. So it's like your brain is on overdrive. Driving, when you're vulnerable, so when you're in danger, when you're vulnerable, so like when you're sitting on the toilet, you're very vulnerable. Your brain has to be, it's from like a more evolutionary kind of perspective that like when we went to the bathroom, we were in a very vulnerable and exposed position. And could be attacked at any second. So your brain is like firing more on all cylinders because it has to be aware. And in the shower, same thing. You're naked, you're vulnerable. So your brain's like, and you're also more relaxed too on that one too. But that sometimes can open up. But anyways, that was his whole thing. That's why people have good ideas in different situations, because of vulnerability or danger. I thought that was like some good ideas to think about. Anyways, point is, capture that when it occurs and then go back and spend that 75% of the whole project reworking and rewriting and whatnot. So I think for me, it's going to be developing the habit of doing that stuff, both on stream and off stream. I don't think that I'll be able to write on stream. So the reason I'm talking about Twitch so much is that like, I think I'm at a place where like, I'm almost on the cusp of like Twitch is my day job, more or less. And I'm obviously very, very lucky to be in a position where like some people, Twitch is their like dream goal, maybe even some of you guys watching this right now. And I'm very lucky that I'm at a point where I'm on the cusp. And I think if I lived anywhere but Los Angeles, I would already be like able to call Twitch my day job or be a full-time streamer or whatnot. But because I live in Los Angeles and it's like 2 to 3 times more expensive on average than the rest of the country, I am not. So I'm not actually like, I'm not really doing any other jobs. I'm not doing any other jobs. I do like the Instagram paid posts, and I'm sure you guys have seen. I was really counting / hoping, but like 50% hoping, 50% counting on Machinima doing the game night show. But in case you haven't heard, Machinima is like pretty much shut down. This past week, news came out that like Machinima Studios is pretty much shut down. Machinima Studios is where they created the content, where they created the videos, where they created the live streams, Machinima Studios. And then there's Machinima, like the corporation, which like manages channels and whatnot. And I think whatever is going to be left of that is going to be folded into Fullscreen, which is another YouTube network. So pretty much Machinima does not exist anymore, and Game Night is definitely canceled. it's entirely possible that Fullscreen decides they want to move forward with some kind of show that's like Game Night, but you know, it's like a 0.01% chance. It's more or less like, you know, it's canceled. So, anyways, I was hoping or whatever for that, but alas, so that's not happening. And I'm at the point of like, do I need to get a job? Do I need to get another job? Do I need to do a part-time job? I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. But might know at some point. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Anyways, back to the good things. The good things are that I'm at a point where I'm basically almost able to call Twitch my full-time job, my day job, and I need to continue doing that. And so, I don't want to abandon it anyways. But like, if in a perfect world, if I had $1 million, I would stream 2 to 3 times a week. And the rest of it I would really spend working on music. But I would still want to stream like 3 times a week because I really value the relationship that I have with you guys and the rest of everyone else. And I really value that. Like, to me, I feel a much, like, infinitely better relationship with my Twitch community than I do or did with my YouTube community. And that's simply because of the live interaction. And it's vast, like 95% is because of the live interaction. You know, we can have a conversation on Twitch and whatnot. But also on YouTube, I think I was, for many, many years, I was really doing what I thought I should be doing. And I was rarely doing what I wanted to be doing. But like, I guess that's true about most jobs, right? You got to do what you're supposed to do, not necessarily what you want to do. If you want to sleep in every day, you can't. That's a bad example, but you get what I'm trying to say. So, so I really value my Twitch community relationship. And I don't think I really ever want to let that go. I really enjoy the inside jokes. I enjoy the memes. I enjoy sharing the experience of playing games. I live by myself. I pretty much don't really hang out that much with other people. And that's actually something that's a goal for mine for 2019. I live a very isolated life. And I think it's very easy to be isolated in Los Angeles. A lot of people talk about how lonely Los Angeles is, for a variety of reasons. And as an introvert, I don't really help myself with that. And I don't even know if I am an introvert, man. Like, I think I'm like, it's a spectrum, right? But I think I'm pretty close to the middle. But extreme extroverts make me go in my shell. I don't know how true that is for other people, but like when some people are like, when they're around someone with a lot of energy, like they get brought up. When I'm around someone with a lot of energy, I like balance down. Like I balance down. That's an interesting concept. Interesting phrase. Anyways, I need to work on being more social with friends. So the point is that I really enjoy my Twitch community because it's kind of like my socialization, my interacting with other people, and just having fun with friends. I get anxious, but I also look forward to every time I stream. There's like anxiety that goes through me before I start streaming. Which is an interesting, I should look into that more. I don't know why that is. Anyways, looking at my position on camera here, I feel like I'm facing directly into camera, but I guess I'm not. I have this t-shirt's actually, it's got a pocket tee. You can't tell at all. It's a great t-shirt. It just looks like a black undershirt right now, but it's actually like a pocket tee. Respect the pocket. So, point is, if it is in the perfect world, point is, in a perfect world, I'd probably stream 2 to 3 times a week and really work on music the rest of the time. Also, in a perfect world, I would have a music producer to work on music with. I find music is a lot easier to, I think, in being creative in general, if you have another creative partner who is of similar vibe, and you're able to bounce ideas off each other. That for me has been the best. So I think that'll probably be a goal as well for 2019, is like finding music producers (S) into parentheses to work with, so that I can have people to also to improve the sounding of the songs too. I'm decent at stuff, but you know, people like I'm decent at making music sound good, but there are people who are a lot better than me. And it'd be cool to work with them. But there'll probably be some growing pains I have to go through to like get to that point, you know? After sharing all that, basically I feel like I still need to stream a lot in order to support myself. And by support myself, all I mean is pay rent. Like it's just ridiculous how much rent is in Los Angeles. So if I ever talk about the finances, I feel like I can be honest with you guys, or like somewhat more honest with you guys, because you guys are paying to help support me. So when I say support myself, I don't mean going out to eat. I don't mean buying fancy toys. I don't mean driving an expensive car. I'm extremely frugal, and I wait to buy anything until I'm above 95% sure that it's something I need, not want, but need, that it's going to help me in my future career things, and that I don't have something else that can suffice for it. So for example, like a loop pedal is a little, is an item that I need, and I've been thinking about for months. I can't come up with any way to make it myself. And I want to make sure that I get a good quality one, so I don't have to buy multiple, or buy one and it's not enough for what I want to do with it. Yeah, I need, because I as a one-person performer, it would really heighten that. So like I'm really looking into like trying to get a loop pedal. But that's just an example of things that that I do. So, you know, like the lights are, you know, as a visual person, the lights were a very small investment. I bought the cheapest that was still effective kind of thing. And the acoustic foam I already had, etc. The whole point is that whenever I talk about supporting myself or finances and whatnot, it's really just rent. Like it's just rent. But I'm not complaining. It's more of it's information for you guys. That's all. What else I want to tell you guys about? So I feel like I still need to stream on Twitch as much as possible, almost every day. But and in order to make progress on music, I need to do the work of the music stuff on the Twitch stream. So it's kind of like a big Venn diagram with a lot of overlap. And that's why, and I was thinking about all this when I was doing my Patreon brainstorming. And that's why I came up with so many ideas that overlap with Twitch and YouTube, because of the generating content, whether it's Twitch streaming or YouTube or writing music or whatever. It all needs to be synergized. And fun little tidbit for you guys. I spent a lot of time thinking about I was trying to make this t-shirt idea work for like $20 and up. I think it was 20, it was 25, whatever the tier is. And I couldn't make it work. To make a t-shirt, basically a t-shirt costs, and there's like 2 or 3 companies I was talking to, and like the main one that I was talking to, basically to have a high quality t-shirt, after creation costs, shipping costs, etc. It costs like $30 to make. And so I couldn't do that for a $20 to $25 tier. So then I was like, what about every other month? Well, it's still, if it's like a $50 every 2 months and it's still $30 out, then it's like, it's a huge cut into like, basically it doesn't synergize with the idea of writing music. And it was a big struggle for me to try and find a way to making a t-shirt every month for the community. And eventually I just had to give it up, and it was sad. It was really a bummer, but I would love, that's why we just did a design. It's like a future unlock for Patreon, to have a new design every month or every couple. I think we changed it to every couple months, so I didn't spend too much time on it, because I need to build habits focusing on the goal at hand, which is writing and creating and recording music. So that was like there's a fun little tidbit from behind the scenes for you about the whole Patreon stuff. And what was the point of that? This is where I would edit around silence probably, but oh well. Synergy. Whole point is the Patreon stuff was really meant to be synergetic. Is that a word? Synergetic. I'm gonna go with it. Well, everything's supposed to be synergetic, so that's why. And I'm sure most of you are from Twitch, so like you're probably hype about the increased Twitch streaming stuff. But yeah, I almost want to stream more, especially I think the first half of 2019, I want to spend more time streaming, but it's with a different purpose. And then like in a dream world, the second half of 2019 would be busy with things like I don't know, like writing sessions, doing a music tour, recording sessions, etc. When I say a writing session, that means like doing a writing session with another songwriter, and or whatnot. So a good busy, a good problem of being very busy. That would be like a perfect world. I don't think it's going to happen, but doesn't mean we can't aim for it. So, that's a lot of like just random, hopefully somewhat tangentially related things that I just told you about. I got terrified that for a second this wasn't recording at all. But it was. We're good. Clearly. No, but I was really terrified for a split second. I hope this video comes out and isn't corrupted or anything like that. Anyways, that's a whole bunch of random things that are tangentially correlated. I guess I should actually tell you any updates on things. I've been really working on like cleaning up this office. I know you can't quite tell, but like, organizing those cubbies was part of it. I kind of cleaned up the floor down here a little bit. There's still obviously more. A lot of the stuff down here is actually VR equipment. This dark box right here is actually full of VR sensors and cords. The other black box that this lamp is sitting on underneath this orange Fortnite bag is the Oculus. I almost called it the Oculus Vive. Isn't it Oculus Rift? Shows you how much I've been doing VR recently. Anyways, the Oculus is right there. So like VR stuff is right here in this pile. It's kind of an island actually. Like whenever I'm like generating ideas, I'll walk and it like helps me be creative. And so I'll make laps around my entire apartment. And this is like an island. Like I walk around it as part of my giant lap around my apartment. But I've been getting like thousands of steps every day. I put my phone, or I'm typing on my phone, or I put my phone in my back pocket when I'm walking, and get like 7,000-8,000 steps in a day just in my apartment. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. So this is my office. This is my creative studio. This is where I stream and whatnot. And over here to my left is my music computer, and my music desk is just covered with stuff right now, and it really needs to be cleaned off. So it's kind of a current goal of I need to make this, you know, you can't, a really important thing with creating stuff, this is back to a general thing that might help you guys. General TJ tip for you guys. In order to be creative, you need the right environment. So not only do you need to spend the time, you need to spend the right amount of time on it. And by right amount, I mean simply you need to devote time to it, which is that 75%. Like, it's not just generating ideas, it's going back and reworking them over and over and over. You have to be in the right environment. So that means like away from distractions. You got your phone turned over and on silent so that it doesn't distract you. You've got to be in the right environment. I mean, some people it's going to a coffee shop. Some people coffee shop is too distracting, too loud, too quiet. Maybe you're better. For me, actually, I have a lot of ideas when I'm on public transportation. So like when I have to travel and go visit my mom in Texas or anything like that, like I have a lot of ideas at the airport, or like riding around the metro, the subway in New York or Los Angeles. So people watching, you know, that kind of helps generate ideas sometimes. But whatever it is, you want to make sure that when it's time to focus, that you can focus and you're not, and you have at least they said like at least 45 minutes. I think it's like 45 minutes to 3 hours. And then after 3 hours, your brain starts to get oversaturated or worn out or whatnot. I might be remembering all that wrong, so don't necessarily believe me about that. But I think it is a minimum of like 45 minutes recommended in order to just like have enough attention time on a thing. So, but also that means, you know, free from clutter and having, like, if you have the tools you need to create stuff. If you're a painter, you can't be a painter and create art unless you have the paint and the brush and the canvas, whatever it is you're using for those things, but you still need those things, right? Like you might be visually in your mind creating stuff, but if you're not physically creating it because you don't have the tools or the environment or whatever it is, then you're not going to be making progress, you know, as much as you could. I mean, you can still come up with the ideas, but like you still got to make it. So that for me translates to cleaning off this desk, which you can just imagine that all this stuff is on a desk. Okay, cool. So that's like part of the reason that I really want to do these vlogs is because it helps me think about what I'm doing and where I'm going, and it makes me figure out the details. Because I can have all these great ideas about things and like I can like jot down ideas on stuff, but like if I'm not talking to someone else to help hold me accountable, not necessarily to hold me accountable, but if I'm not talking to somebody else, then like I'm not having those details figured out. And I think that correlates to the whole concept of like the best way to learn something or to make sure that you have learned something or to make sure that you know something is to have to explain it to someone else. So that's actually a really good thing for like studying. Like if you're in school or anything, is if you have a study group, is like if you have to explain it to someone or you have a study buddy or whatnot, like making each other explain a concept. And that's how you can really make sure that you both understand or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like explain to me mitochondria or explain to me mitosis or whatever. Explain to me how hydrogen is formed, you know, and now that person has to go through, or you have to go through the step by step and explain the details. And that's how you make sure that, and you'll find where you don't know things and you'll have to go make sure that you have them right or whatever. You get the concept. So, so the tools for me is like the music desk. The tools for me are a loop pedal. The tools for me is also like figuring out, I want to do music streams. I love, if you don't know her, I love Megan Lenius, M-E-G-A-N, Megan Lenius, L-E-N-I-U-S, N as in Nancy. She really inspires me as a musician. Like right now, I'd say I'm somewhere along the spectrum of like Dodie and Megan Lenius, in terms of people who inspire me. And if you don't know who Dodie is, she's a wonderful YouTube musician. She just came out with a new album actually like this past week, D-O-D-I-E. Check her out on Spotify. or YouTube. She's just incredibly talented British musician, and YouTuber and whatnot. But anyways, so Megan's stream, she does a lot of music stuff. She's actually like standing up and playing guitar and on a loop pedal too, and has like a mic that's like hanging down from like an overhead mic kind of thing. And it's pretty cool. And I think I'd like to do that. I like the idea and the concept of being able to stand up and move around, and it's basically a live performance. You know, you're standing on a stage, performing to an audience, interacting with them. So I think that's something I'd like to do on Twitch. I need to like figure out this space, you know, I need to figure out the space for that. Right now I've got a lamp in the middle of the room. It's not completely feasible. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there's like track lighting on the other side of the, I don't know. Maybe the lighting in the cubby holes is replaced by these kind of lights that are traced on the outside of it or something. I really don't know. Each of these, if you see it has like a cubby hole has a white background, it's completely sealed off. This one has a hole in the background. So I like, do I drill a small hole in these sealed ones just to snake the lights through behind? Or do the lights only go behind? Do they go behind and in front? I don't know. There's a lot of questions there. And it's also not super important. The super important part is just simply making the music. But I like to be, this is something some of you may know about me, but I really like to be 95% sure about something before I begin it, before I commit to it, before I start making progress on it. So I will sit in the planning phase for a long time about something until it makes above 95% sense, until I have above 95% confidence rating. And for those of you who are not science people, a 95% confidence rating is something that they use in like statistics or in the sciences about experiments and stuff, about testing testing correlation, not causation. But if something has like if your p-value, which I think is the correlation rating, is above a 0.95 or is above 95%, it's extremely likely. So if, you know, if something is below 95% confidence, it can still be, you can still have confidence in it, but it's not, it's like that 95% is like the rating that people, it's like, I don't know, it's like the best one. If you can get above a 0.99, like obviously that's the best. But anyways, a 95, for me, like 95% confidence rating is like what I usually wait for before I actually commit to anything. And that's why I've been really iffy on YouTube for the last couple of years, is because I don't have a 95% confidence rating on it. I don't necessarily enjoy it. I'm not 95% confident that I enjoy it, that it's right for me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But with Twitch, I do have that. With music, it's like above a 0.99. So with acting, it's like probably like between 80 and 90, 80%, 90%, you know. Voice acting is probably above 90%, 99, 95%. I like that voice acting, I'm not limited by like what I look like, because what I look like sometimes like it prevents me from getting to do the more comedic roles, actually. I'm not complaining about what I look like. I'm just stating a detail about the industry. It's like a thin line you got to walk, you know. I'm like talking about your looks sometimes. So going back to the whole point, having the right tools, the room, the music. I wanted to do the music performance streams, the guitar, the loop pedal. I have a guitar. I have a microphone. I'm trying to figure out if I would want to use this microphone or a different microphone. You guys seem to really like this one. Seems to do really well. I think I'll just have to look into the. I have like $1,000 microphone that I got. Long time ago, back when Build Me a Buttercup did really well. It is now gone. But if you don't know, Billy Buttercup is now blocked worldwide as of December because the publisher who owns the rights to Billy Buttercup has decided to manually block it worldwide on YouTube. Not the song, just my video. And all the like duplicate uploads of my video are still fine. They're still viewable. So I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but that's the situation. So anyways, those are the details for things. That's why I'm trying to figure out this. I'm trying to figure out the 95%. What do I do with this confidence rating? And that's also why it took me so long to release the whole Patreon ideas and stuff, and also to figure out what I want to do with Patreon, because it took me like 2 to 3 weeks to really just meditate on this stuff and figure out, like, how do I synergize this? What are my goals for the future? How do I synergize Patreon with this? And how to also synergize what else I'm doing right now with Twitch. And it was like a little mini think tank in my apartment for like 2 to 3 weeks. It was a lot of fun. It just took a long time. And now we're in the work phase, first work phase. So, that's like, I don't know, are those updates? I don't know if those are updates, but I guess it's an update. I expected this to be shorter, but I should not have, knowing myself. I don't think I really have too many more updates for you guys. I'm thinking about the whole, like, okay, so one of my goals for the Patreon, as stated, is to write and release a new song each and every month. Well, that would also include January. I'm trying to figure out if that's going to be feasible or not this month. I don't know. I haven't given up on it. Crazy things can happen. I think what this means is that I really need to make progress on writing the ideas from the song list, from the song ideas. It doesn't it? Maybe I'll just, heck. Now I'm thinking, so tomorrow's Monday. Right now it's Sunday night. I've had a really wacky sleeping schedule for like the last week. Like I've been falling asleep between 4 a.m. and 9 a.m. And it is the worst sleep schedule I've ever had in terms of being out of sync with the day. I think it's the worst I've ever had. But I think I'm going to be able to go to bed before 4 a.m. tonight. It's almost midnight right now. Okay, it's like let me take a moment and talk about this. Actually, it's a really interesting dilemma. It's a really interesting dilemma. Okay, sorry, let me finish that thought first. I'll come back to the sleep schedule thing. Tomorrow's Monday, and I've been toying with the idea of making Mondays Music Mondays on stream. I could begin that tomorrow. We play around with music voice notes app ideas tomorrow. It wouldn't be too much of a heads up for you guys, so I would apologize about that. But I think if I'm able to maybe upload the stream later and you guys can hear it at your own leisure, that'd be cool. Maybe that's what I'll do. I have some songs that are almost finished ideas on there. They just need to be like finalized, you know. We've got basically 10 days left. 10 days left in the month, a third of the month. So, you know, I don't know, maybe it's, you know, maybe we try and push for it. Maybe we try and push for the release. It doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, but it's the making progress it's the making progress, which is the most important thing. Developing the habits. Like, no stress, but like push for it, you know? If you don't make it, that's okay. But like, don't just accept defeat. Don't just like give up. Like, still hustle and push through. That's kind of a concept that my dad taught me at a young age. Back in like elementary school when I was playing football, I was a very chubby boy. I was a chubby boy from like 3rd grade through like 10th or 11th grade. And back in like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, he would always tell me, whenever we would run the warm-up lap for football, I would always be like last, second to last, somewhere around there. And my dad would tell me basically like, he would never get mad at me. He would never be, I don't know, he would never criticize or anything. He'd just be like, are you trying your best? Are you pushing yourself? If you're genuinely pushing yourself, I will never ask anything else of you. And I was like, I mean, I was, but I was also like, I was a big boy, you know? So, but that's like, that concept has stuck with me. It's like, still push yourself, but don't be upset if you don't achieve. So it's like shoot for the moon, land among the stars, which is not a good phrase if you really think about it, because the stars are millions of light years away and the moon is much closer. So it should be the opposite. Shoot for the stars, land on the moon. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, coming back to the sleep schedule thing. Anyways, so what was that? All that was about, Music Mondays. Making progress. Yes, got it. So sleep schedule has been super whack, and it's an interesting dilemma. So I love nighttime because it's quiet. I'm not getting emails, I'm not getting texts, I'm not getting phone calls. There's less noise outside. I'm not getting distracted by helicopters flying over Los Angeles. I'm not getting distracted by airplanes, mowers, garbage trucks, dogs, people fighting. It's just quiet. And for me, that helps me focus. It's also cooler. Los Angeles is notoriously hot. You might know from it being a desert. And so I love the nighttime. I really love how Los Angeles looks at night. I love how it feels. It's colder. I don't know. I just love nighttime. And I love sunsets, and I also love sunrises. And also, I like the sun itself too. And the sunshine is very important. I'm actually trying to spend more time getting sunshine. But, so like, I love all these things, and I'm more creative at night. That's actually the most important thing, because I can focus. I'm more creative at night. I can focus. I can I have time to flesh out things. I don't have to be worried about all these other things. I'm just calm and I'm focused. So it almost feels like I would be more advantageous staying up late and working through the night. And actually, Quincy Jones, who, for those of you who don't know, is one of the most important American music producers and what is it called? Where you like write the music or the background music or something? I forget. Were you like music writer? Let's just go with that. Of the 1900s. He was a performer with like Sinatra. He was Michael Jackson's music producer. He has just like, if you just go look at his Wikipedia page, Quincy Jones, it's unreal. It's unreal. He's a very creative person. He's like in his 80s and he's still writing new music. He's still kicking butt. Anyways, his sleep schedule is waking up at 4 p.m., taking care of business for a couple of hours, checking in with business stuff. And then when the sunset goes down, as he says, when the sun goes down, the muses come out. And he just works through the night. And then when the sun comes up, he goes to sleep. So he's basically asleep from like, I don't know, 7 to 4, 8 to 4, 9 to 4, something like that. And that's like a really interesting sleep schedule. Like if I was still streaming on Twitch, I don't know how I'd do that. But also I mainly do stream in the evenings. I don't know if that's the best for me. I'd like to do more day streaming, but I've just never been able to accomplish it. We'll see how 2019 goes. We'll see how the first quarter of 2019 goes. After that, I should probably just adapt to whatever my best practices are. That'd be an interesting concept, is like, you know, I know, but a lot of people like to interact on stream, and if I'm streaming, well, if I woke up, let's say around like 3 or 4, and then streamed from like 5 to whatever, and then worked on music after that, that's a possibility, maybe. I'm not sure. When I streamed super late the other night, on Friday night, I streamed until like, or was that last night? That was last night. When I streamed super late until like 3 a.m., 2 a.m., something like that, which is super late to me. We were gaining a lot of followers and new viewers. It was some really good growth, actually. I don't know why. How long did we stream? I don't know. Anyways, it's an interesting concept. Or, but I also really enjoy getting up early. Like when I get up at like 7 a.m., I love it. I love getting up at 7 a.m. as long as I get a full night's sleep. And it just feels like I have so much time to like get stuff done. And like if I ever have a big project, I love getting up early and like just having enough time to like get breakfast, walk the dogs, whatever. And then like I have so much more time, it feels like, to get things done. But it doesn't necessarily feel like I am able to be creative when I get up early. So I guess maybe utilizing the different modes to different purposes. I don't know. I don't have an answer. As I said, it's a very interesting dilemma. When, you know, it's like, if I love getting up early, but I'm creative in the middle of the night, and streaming is my day job, and in a good way, like in a wonderful way. What schedule do I have? And it's a unanswered question right now. It's a theoretical, philosophical. Those aren't the right terms. It is a hypothetical. No, it is a, what is it called? There's a certain term for when you like engage in a mental thought exercise. So it's a mental exercise question that does need to be answered someday. And I haven't figured it out yet. I'd also like to eventually have a schedule on Twitch, a real schedule, so that you guys and everyone else knows when I'm actually going to be streaming. I don't have an answer to that either yet. Previously, okay, there's something I wanted to come back to. What was the thing I wanted to come back to? Scheduling. We'll come back to scheduling. Previously, the reason I really didn't have a schedule is because my mental health. As I mentioned earlier, it gives me a lot of anxiety to every time I stream, but in a good way, in a 50% good way. In a 50% good way, because it's like, I want to have these things ready for the people. I want to put on a good show for the people. I'm not going to be able to focus on the rest of my life. I'm not going to be able to focus on my phone. I'm not going to be able to take care of emails and whatever for the next however many hours. So I got to make sure everything's at a stopping point. I got to make sure the dogs are good. You know, it's like my full attention is going to be right here for 2 to 8 hours. I got to make sure everything else is good before I do this. you know, I got to make sure I'm eating. I've got to make sure I've gone to the bathroom. I got to make sure I got my water and my tea and whatever else I'm drinking. I got to make sure that I've got plans for things on stream tonight. I got to make sure that my computers are updated, that my computers are working together, that there's no technological issues. There's like so much preparation to do to make sure your stream is good. You got to make sure the lights are all good, that those are working, that, you know, that like something hasn't fallen down and crashed and broken or something. There's so much preparation that you have to do before starting a stream. That's where the pressure comes from. It's, you know, every time you do, even if you're doing a theatrical play, even if you've done the play 100 times, you still got to make sure that everything's right. That all the props are where they got to be, that you know your lines, that you've rehearsed, that you got all the costumes correct, that your voice is warmed up, yada, yada, yada. Even if you've done something 100 times, you still got to make sure that it's like, you're still prepared. So that's, I don't remember what that was attached to, but scheduling. Life schedule, I think, is really what it is. Oh, the schedule. That's why I really didn't have a streaming schedule. Because when I did have a schedule, it just gave me, it just broke, it like really messed with me. It really messed with me. It really messed with me. At this point, I'd like to have a stream schedule that starts at like, streaming starts at like 2 p.m. or something like that and goes until like 7 or like longer. If it were like a bonus hours. Because then that would make me feel like I still have my evenings free. Because right now, like I don't feel like I have evenings free. Anytime someone has like a party or wants to get dinner. And I think that's part of the whole, like I feel isolated. But whenever I like try and plan on starting at 2, I don't start until 6. And it feels like the earlier I aim to start, the later it actually does start. And I don't know if that's because like if I plan to start at 1 or 2, that means I'm going to start my day earlier. And if I start my day earlier, that means I'm going to like in my mind, I'm feeling more motivated. And if I'm feeling more motivated, I'm going to take on a bigger project. And if I take on a bigger project, it's going to take longer than I anticipated. And maybe I'll also take on like other projects that other emails or like problems that I need to solve. And like, therefore, I feel like I'm feeling more motivated. And so I'm going to try and solve those as well right now today. And then I end up just like overfilling my time plate, and it pushes back the stream start time. So the answer is I don't know. Like I don't have a good stream schedule. There's still like some background problems in my life that I need to like figure out and solve. I still haven't settled the situation with the apartment complex yet. I'm not going to go into it, but that's like an example of like a big problem that I haven't solved yet. I still don't have merchandise up in the merch store yet. That's a big project that I haven't solved yet. I am moved in. This room is not organized yet. That's a big project I haven't solved yet. The desk, it's a big project I haven't solved yet. But I think in a perfect world, I'd get up early. Maybe not. I don't know, dude. Option A, getting up early. So in order for me to solve problems, the way that I do it is if you don't know what the solution is, look at what your options are and like list them out. So like, I don't know what college to go to. All right. Well, what options are you looking at? Do you like staying in state? These are these options. Going out of state. These are these options. Schools with a good degree in this part of thing that I'm interested in: business administration, psychology, writing, whatever. Like these are the schools for that possibility. and just write it out, and you'll start to see things kind of come together, or you'll be able to more objectively evaluate your options once they're like more in front of your face and more discrete. And by discrete, I mean separate from each other. Discrete has two spellings. Discrete, D-I-S-C-R-E-E-T, is like quiet and hidden. And discrete, D-I-S-C-R-E-T-E, it's like the T in between the E's, means separate. It's a type of math. Getting nerdy here for you guys. So anyways, when the options are more discrete and separate and not ambiguous or like blended all together. So for me, option A of sleep schedule, waking up at like, let's say 7 a.m. And then from 7 to 12 is like personal stuff, whether it's exercising, walking the dogs, breakfast, showering, emails, stuff like that. Then, I don't know, 12 to 2 is preparing for stream. It's not 2 hours of preparation, but you also have some like flex room there. Also lunch. And then stream from like 2 to 7, 2 to 8. And then, now if I get up at 7, it means I need to be asleep by 11. So then 7 to 11 is like relax. Whether it's going out with friends or getting dinner. 2 to 7, that's a long time to stream without a meal. I don't know. That's an option. That's an option. Maybe when I'm like not generating ideas, or when I need to be like recording ideas, that's what we could do. It's more like business and project oriented rather than creativity oriented. Then an alternative would be waking up at like noon. So I could go to bed at 4 and could still stream 2 to 7. As long as I mean, general 2 to 7, like it's a soft 2 to 7. And then I could use the 7 to 4 for like generating ideas or whatnot, or whatever it is. We're figuring out things live on stream right now live with you guys on YouTube, on Patreon. I mean, it's going to be on YouTube, but it's a Patreon only video. So if you're still watching this, I'm very surprised. Thank you for watching this. I mean, really what you can do is just put it on, like just listen to it on audio. You don't even have to watch this video. Just listen to it. I should just make it like this is the podcast. This is the TJ Patreon podcast. TPP. TJPP. Nice. Oh man, I'm glad I'm not on stream right now. So anyways, I guess like the 2 to 7 is like a time frame that I'm looking for, but it just feels like I never achieve it, and that's frustrating. I think the earliest I streamed in the past, besides a morning stream like on the weekends or whatever, has been like 4 p.m. Even though I aim for 2 so many times. Like even tomorrow, I bet you even tomorrow I'll aim for 2 o'clock and I won't hit it. 2 p.m. Pacific time, and I won't hit it. Now I clarify that I'm talking about Pacific time after we've been talking about this for 15 minutes. LOL. Anyways, so that's kind of the gist of things. I don't think of anything else that I should tell you guys right now. Music ideas, song for this month. What other Patreon things did you guys unlock? I know that. Let's go to patreon.com/TJs. you guys unlocked. When I talk about unlocks on the Patreon page, there's the goals, and it's on a different position for mobile versus desktop versus the app. There's a Patreon app if you guys haven't heard yet. There's different, it's in a different place on each one of those. So the goals, if you go to the desktop one, it's on the left-hand side of the page. If you go to any other ones, I don't know where it is. But anyways, what else did you guys unlock? Patron phrases. Oh, yay. I got to work on that. That's going to require I was going to say an algorithm system, but it's not an algorithm. It's a code. It's going to require some computer programming code in order to get them. You know how like when I push a button and it does the rewards on stream? I want to do that with patron phrases, but I don't want any repeats. So with the or like a quote, when we do like a quote and it does a random quote, those are repeats, and I don't want to repeat on patron phrases. It's like a one-time use, like it's on a piece of paper and you use it and then you throw the paper away. But you're constantly being able to submit new ideas every month. So and each month is never removed. So if yours didn't get picked from January, if your January submission didn't get picked, it rolls over into February and so on and so forth until it gets used. We're writing a coding system for like a system that either deletes, it's like a list of phrases and it pulls one randomly from there and it uses it and it either deletes it or it adds it to a do not use list, stuff like that. But anyways, that's what patron phrases is. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's a concept where you submit phrases and then they get randomly used on stream. It's like kind of like Whose Line Is It Anyway? Specifically, the game is called Whose Line, and then they made the TV show from that game name. It is the game that the show is named after. Okay, so you guys unlock that, and then monthly live one-take song recordings. Ooh, I need to do that. I need to do that. Maybe that's what I work on tomorrow. Oh, no, you guys get to vote on the song first. So we got to vote on the song. I need to write these things down. So you guys will get to vote on a song this week. I should have mentioned that first and foremost at the very beginning of the vlog, but that's okay. Monthly live one-take song recordings. Okay. Patreon this week. Today is 1/20. I've started to have to put the year as well, 1/20/19, because 1/2019, 2019, 1/2019. There's only one 2019. Because I'm finding these little notes, and I love this is the perfect size notepad for me. It's just perfect for my ideas and how my brain works. But I've started finding older ones that are still relevant and useful, but I don't know what year they're from. But they still have relevant things on them. It's a fun little surprise to come across them. Right now, there's actually here's, for example, boom, here's two that are merch ideas from years ago. Here's a stack of. These are songwriting ones. This is the original lyrics for You Deserve Better. The original lyrics. You can't see it at all. You deserve better on the top right there. So sing it loud and let your voice out. You will be heard. When I wrote it, probably 3 years ago at this point. These are the size that I write my songs on. Uh-oh. Just random chord progressions at the very top there. 3 5 2 1 6 1 5 4 on the other side. Hold first chord. I don't know what any of these things mean. This is the kind of stuff that's like on that voice memos app on my phone. Just like random things. Who knows? Maybe this is really good. Maybe this is great. I don't know. As it's written, I have no idea what it is. But it might be a brilliant idea. And now I got to put in the work. I write songs on like these legal size ones because words take up a lot more room, and then I'll like draw arrows from like different sections. It's pretty amusing. These are from years ago. These are from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. Some of these in here are the rejects from the original album, actually, from my Ivy League Punk album. I think I even wrote. Yeah, I did. Here we go. So back when I recorded the first album, these are the list of songs that didn't make it. And this little sticky says second album ? The rejects. Or just the ones I didn't have enough time to finish. Written some country songs. Written some R&B songs. Some of these I can still hear in my head. Some of them I cannot. Oh, man. Funny. Funny, Lucy. Funny stuff. That'll be another project I gotta go through someday. All right, little Miss Luce. Oh yeah, Patreon this week. Monthly live one take song. Poll and then record it. 3 exclamation marks with poll. And then the other one was patron phrases. We'll set that up for next month's submissions from you guys. Patron Pharisees. Not quite phrases. What was the other thing? What was the other thing, Luce? Patron phrases. Going through the voice memos thing. That's like the first thing on my mind all the time. What's going on, baby? She's trying to get my attention. Do you need to go potty? We just went potty a couple hours ago. You need to go potty again? No, I just want your attention, Dad. I feel like there's someone else, and I'll probably remember it later. I don't know. Let's look at the other rewards. Is there... Oh, I still haven't set up where you might find love. Yeah, we should do that. A lot of this stuff is still ramping up. I'm sure you guys know. Oh, write and release the new song. Everything's so important. I love it. Write and release new song for January. I need to use Patreon Lens more. I need to tell you guys. First of all, I haven't even posted to Instagram about this Patreon. Post to Instagram and Twitter. This is what I need to do before streaming tomorrow. Because now that I'll have uploaded this video, I can be like, go look, if you sign up for Patreon, you can watch my new vlog. It's just for Patreon where I talk about all the things. And then people sign up and they're like, oh my God, this video is like 45 minutes long. What are you doing? Post to Instagram and Twitter. About Patreon. And link the new video, which they'll only be able to watch if they're a patron. Link the new video. Oh, headshots and thank you card. By the way, shout out to all the new patrons. You guys are wonderful. Headshots and thank you cards. The Patreon stuff is all set up. Okay, baby, hold on one second. She's like really needy right now. She's out of water, that's why. Here you go. I'll give you my water. There we go. Yeah, she needed attention for a good reason. Anyways, I can check this stuff later. I don't need to be going through it with you guys. Community game. I think we also unlocked that as well. Yeah, we did. So we'll figure that out as well. This is stuff I can do while you're not watching this video. Okay. Anything else I want to update you on? Nothing that I can think of right now. I think I'm really gonna try the other things that I'm gonna work on are clean the office, because I need to clean the office in order to I don't have a creative space right here. This is my music space and it's not usable right now. Clean the office. There was another thing. I've forgotten it. Oh well. I'm getting to the point where my brain is like, okay, I can't focus anymore. Did you already drink all that water? There's no way. There's no way. Okay. I'm probably going to go through the voice apps tomorrow night on stream on Monday. Probably going to maybe do Twitch Sings beta as well. Possibly try and maybe make Music Mondays a thing on stream. We'll see. I'm going to upload this video. You guys will be able to watch it tomorrow. That's all I got. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. This is very long. I'm sorry it's so long. I think we got through a lot of like initial stuff, a lot of basic stuff. I need to figure out so on the front page you can have like featured hashtags on my Patreon page. So I think I'll try and figure out a hashtag for these weekly vlogs. Maybe it's just hashtag weekly vlog, so that people who want to watch these weekly vlogs can find them easily on the Patreon. Need to set it to where you might find love, MP3. If you guys have any comments, questions, all that good stuff, post on the Patreon, comment on the Patreon post, not on the YouTube video, because the YouTube video is supposed to be like private. It's just that Patreon doesn't have video hosting. They do have audio hosting. So whenever I have a song, I can just upload it to Patreon and then you guys can download it from Patreon. But for video, they don't have video hosting. So I have to upload it to YouTube unlisted, and then that's how you guys are seeing it. That's what I got. I hope this video turns out all right. I wonder if me starting Firefox messed it up. I hope not. We'll find out. I can't think of anything else. I'm sure there's a ton more. This is good. I'm building habits. Hashtag building habits. I'm going to also write, not hashtag, but build those habits. I like this. This is really good for me. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm sorry it's so long. Hopefully, I mean, I assume you guys are like more of the hardcore fans, so I assume you won't mind having a longer video. I hope it's okay for you. And yeah, I'm really not going to edit, so I mean, I'll watch it and make sure that it's like okay. Will I watch all? I probably won't watch the whole thing. Let me know if anything's wrong with this. But yeah, if you have any questions, comments or questions, comment on the Patreon post, not on the YouTube video, because your user activity on the video might link someone else, yada yada. And please don't share the video as well. Keep it, private within the Patreon community. Okay, that's all I got. That's all I got. Could you see the evolution of my hair through the video? If you go back to the very beginning of the video now, like what's the hair? How is it different? We'll probably start. I don't know. I'll do another update video for you. I was actually thinking about doing update videos on Wednesday, but I just had time today, so I went ahead and just did it. I had like a couple hours free, and I was like, what do I want to do the next like 2 hours? You know, I worked on The Office like a little bit. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit down and record that Patreon video right now. I didn't know when I was gonna do it, but it was like, this feels right. Might as well. Let's do it. So I think it worked out well. I think it feels good. It's really good for me. It like really helps me like stamp down the email, the details. Tamp down. I don't know. Nail down. Let's go with that. I think all three of those would probably be fine. Nail down the details of the future, and getting into a good habit. Like we talked about the whole like streaming 2 to 7 p.m. thing. That's like great. I really like that concept. And just working the sleep schedule around it. Cool. Cool beans. All right. Much love to you guys. Thank you so much for just being a part of the community in general, but also thank you above and beyond for being a Patreon supporter. And you guys are great. And this is like the first of a long journey. This is the first putting the foot in front of the other. So thanks for being with me on this journey. And that's all I got. Thank you. All right. Hope you had a good weekend and a good start to the new year. And I'll hope to see you guys either on stream tomorrow or on Patreon in the future. If you don't have the app, download the Patreon app, because I will be posting on Lens more, especially like my daily music ideas. I'm going to try and figure out how I can put those on Lens so that you guys can see them, because that's one way I really want to use Lens for you guys. Okay, cool. Okay, that's it. Come say goodbye, Ricky. Hi, buddy. Okay. Ricky says goodbye. Bye-bye. Have a good one. Bye, guys.